All right, so in this problem here, we have y is equal to this function, and it goes through the point 1, 6. The slope of the tangent line at this point 1, 6 is 7/2. We're going to find a and b. Well, one of the clues would come right off the bat. There's two variables to find. That means I'm going to need two equations to work out with it. And if I have a point, well, that's just the original equation I can work with. And if this is the original, and if I have a tangent line, well, this is referring to the derivative is what I'm seeing. So if this is the original function, that means this point must work in this graph. So if I plug in 1 for x and 6 for y, I get the first equation is 6a 1 to the power of 4 plus b over 1 to the 3/4. Well, that's 6 is equal to a plus b over 1. So here's my first equation. That's actually a nice, simple equation. The second equation, I have to find the derivative. Oy, it's pretty messy. In order to find the derivative, I'm going to have to combine these terms in a sense of, this is the same as saying ax to the 4th over x to the 3/4 plus b over x to the 3/4. Simplifying this, well, I know that if I move this fraction up, it's 4 subtract 3/4. Well, 4 is 16/4 minus 3/4 will be 13/4 on top plus bx to the minus 3/4. All right, so here is my function. This I know how to differentiate. As it's here, I don't know at this point. So then I find the derivative, and that's going to 13/4 come down. 13/4 a x to the, well, I have to subtract 4/4. So 13 subtract 4 is going to be 9/4 plus, well, the negative 3/4 comes down. So it comes down as negative 3/4 bx, and I subtract 1 from here, so 4/4. So that's going to be negative 7/4. And so now I have to recognize that my slope is 7/2 at this point. So the x value is equal to 1, and my derivative is 7/2. So I get 7/2 is equal to 13/4a times 1 to the 9/4 minus 3/4 b 1 to the negative 7/4, which is simply 7/2. Well, that's going to be 13a/4 minus 3/4 b. So now I have two equations, two unknowns. I'm going to do one little bit of algebra on here. Let me undo that line here. I'm going to multiply through by 4 just to make it easier to work with. So if I multiply this by 4, I get negative 3b. I get 13a, and I get equal to 14. So when I multiply by 4, these cancel, and I get 2 to go, so 14. So this equation and this, and then I can go to my calculator, go to my apps, number 2 by Poly Simultaneous, good old Poly Simultaneous, and I have two equations, two unknowns. Let us put it in. I get 1, 1, and 6, and I get 13, negative 3, and 14. And then I hit solve. And so I know that a is equal to 2 and b is equal to 4 are my two equations. That is a and b.